understand. Freedom has many difficulties, but we have never had to put a wall up to keep our people in.
This is it, our MAGA Counter Cognitive Warfare episode 1 for the Leo Zagami show, a new series. We promised you we will change things around after the elections, and here we are. Here we are, and we are actually going to open a bottle to celebrate. Yes, though he won. What you heard was that opera singer that sang when he went back to Butler in Pennsylvania. As you know, that was the place where history could have turned for the worse if it wasn't for an act of God. That's why we like to play this right at the beginning of our show. Great song, but also a profound meaning. Welcome to the Leo Zagami show with Leo and Christy.
Hi, everyone.
Here we are. We will have two shows a week, every Saturday and every Wednesday. The difference being the show is a 60-minute show on Saturday and more or less a 60-minute show on Wednesday. The one on Wednesday will be focusing, of course, on our Exploring the Illuminati Esoteric Occult series that we have introduced during the whole of 2023. And then we have instead on a Saturday a more classic news, but this is more about countering the cognitive warfare of the enemy. So, well, first of all, let's thank the sponsors, Christy.
Okay, so we want to thank Nagarzada Minta and Daniel Estes and Bruce Kodish for donating, and for everybody that bought the book. Thank you very much. So thank you. And we're going to celebrate right now.
Yes, we're going to be celebrating. Bring the bottle so we can
We're going to celebrate with you. So if everybody, if you have like anything you can open, even if it's a can of soda, we want to celebrate with you.
Yes, live and direct from Palm Springs, California, 5 minutes after 5 o'clock here in Pacific Standard Time, as California is turning red. A lot of people told me, why aren't you going to live in Florida? Why aren't you going to live in Nevada? Guys, California, we are turning California red one county at a time, even if it's not going to be that easy. Okay. Well, no. There's some great news, but also less great news. But, guys, welcome to the MAGA Counter Cognitive Warfare series. Can I open this bottle?
Okay, don't put anybody's eye out now.
Okay.
Stai attento.
Stai attento, yes. I have to open this bottle. Okay, I never did it live.
I know, that's why.
I never did it live.
Maybe I need a helmet.
What do you mean you need a help? No, I never did it live in the sense the whole thing open. But it's not difficult. It's no problem.
Where do you pop that cork?
Here. We're gonna.
But where does the cork going to go?
Don't worry. Professionals of the cork, there's no problem. Here we are. Are you about to open or not? Something, huh?
I'm not convinced, but I never am when he does this.
Okay.
I hate this part.
No,
I
why?
hate the pop, because I'm always worried that you're gonna hurt yourself.
Oh, okay. Let's make America great again. And here it's gonna be modern. Hoopla! Ooh. Okay, un brindisi, as we say in Italy, un brindisi. 4 years of a nightmare. We moved here in 2019 and we lived a nightmare after the stolen our election. And we don't care if we are on Facebook and YouTube, we're going to say they stolen our election in 2020. That's it. Can we say
they did it.
But who cares? They're now fighting with each other. It's so miserable. Nancy Pelosi saying Biden should have left before. I mean, we show you that Biden was a zombie for 4 years in a row. So here we go.
We pay attention.
We pay attention.
Okay, to Donald Trump and a beautiful 4 years, make America great again.
The golden age. Golden age. We are ready for the golden age. We want to thank, of course, those who have believed in us, including the press office of Donald J. Trump. Of course, we were in Coachella with another 107,000 people. Wow, what an experience. Yay!
Salute.
And let's make America healthy again, because America needs to get healthy, needs to get off that control. The FDA needs to be reformed. But RFK Jr. is a great MAGA. It's a great MAGA addition, let's say. And then we have many other people who are part of this team, which Trump is shaping up. I don't think Mike Pompeo is going to have a chance, neither Nikki Haley. But we have a lot of new people in the future Trump administration. Thank you for believing in us and in our show, because now we're going to start our MAGA Counter Cognitive Warfare.
Okay, so we're going to put these away.
Let me finish it.
All right, why don't you put yours over here?
Okay. Now, cognitive warfare aside, and of course, I would like you to put a tab. There's a tab there on that you can put. Cognitive warfare needs to be explained. Those who have, of course, read volume 11 of my confessions know what I'm talking about. There is a command center that does cognitive warfare. Cognitive warfare is basically cyber warfare and psychological operations mixed in one. And if you actually put cognitive warfare on your search engine, you're gonna get the headquarters of what used to be the enemy. Now they're gonna have to behave. Of course, they haven't behaved today because they were meeting in the Pentagon trying to see how they can counteract any decision they don't like from Donald J. Trump. But cognitive warfare includes activities conducted in synchronization with other instruments of power to affect yes, to affect the attitudes and behaviors of people by influencing, protecting, or disrupting individual, group, or population level cognition to gain an advantage over the adversary. Well, here from the new command centers in Palm Springs, California, we're going to show you how we're going to counter these idiots who have already gathered in Manhattan. Because where do you think these idiots are going to gather first? In Manhattan, yes.
Are you going to New York bash now?
Well, we have to. Here they are protesting. The idiots are back, but nobody cares.
No nos vamos. Aquí estamos. No nos vamos. Y si nos echan, nos regresamos. Y si nos echan.
Ooh, well, they look a little bit upset. You see, when you have brainwashed all these people to believe that Donald J. Trump is Adolf Hitler, you actually are claiming all kinds of things that are completely fictitious. One thing is true, the mass deportations, but that is a necessity. The Joe Biden administration with Kamala, the borders are let into this country between 10 to 20 million individuals. But these people, they want them all in. Crazy. These, of course, are all the mercenaries of Alex and George Soros, because these are people who definitely have been paid to do this kind of bullshit. Look at them. They're really convinced. You see, what do you think of these people? Because you see, this year I became American. I did it legally. It cost me a few years, a lot of money, a lot of patience, and I was never sure if I would make it. But in the end, I made it, and I made it legally as a United States citizen because I wanted to vote. And in the end, I did it. I actually accomplished in March my citizenship. I renounced formally to my Italian and European citizenship in June because I don't believe in double citizenship. And of course, I voted for Donald J. Trump, which is my president. So these people, they're insane. What do they expect? That we can tolerate this? You see, this is New York. It's your city. You know what I think of New York? Unfortunately, it's in the hands of the enemy.
Well, California's not any better.
No, actually, it is better.
How?
Well, I will show you in a second. And this is because there is some dangers, of course, when a state is turning red. But California is turning red.
For real?
For real. Because, of course, we moved here, so it has to turn red.
Oh, that would be so great.
Let me show you the latest, guys. Is California turning red? Sorry, Chris, I put it on top of your face, but that's how it is. Okay, so let's go and check what they said. They said that Tuesday elections in California will have been difficult for Democrats to stomach. A staggering 40% of Californians voted for Donald Trump, with the Republicans leading in several of the most competitive House districts. Even in San Francisco, the uber progressive mayor London Breed has been voted out. No wonder that Governor Newsom, which we call Newscam, as Trump has taught us, has already called for a special session in the legislature to Trump-proof certain policies such as abortion and immigration. But people in California have had enough. They actually the Proposition 36, which was a response to the hideous Proposition 47 from 2014, was approved with 71%. Proposition 36, for those who live outside California, is a statewide ballot initiative aimed at imposing harsher penalties for repeat theft and crimes involving fentanyl. Because we had even the neighbor downstairs dying of fentanyl. This is a crisis.
And he was 62 years old.
This is a crisis of immense proportions. And so definitely there are huge developments in California. Of course, you have the Democratic Socialists of America who are panicking. But nevertheless, as this article is saying, California is moving right.
Well, that's a miracle right there.
My dear friends who have been saying for years, you should move out of the state. No, it's those people who have to move out of the state. Those people from Hollywood, those idiots who have endorsed Kamala, and now they all want to go and leave Europe. Leave for Europe or leave for Canada.
They all booed on election night. I could hear it all out there. They were like, boo.
Yeah, that was something.
Boo.
But guys, the police today had to tell us that there was a naked Democrat showing his penis around Palm Springs, around here.
I don't want to see that.
They're so crazy. I went around Palm Springs the day after, and their faces were... Palm Springs is 50% Latino, and those Latino have voted for Trump, and that is kind of... the other 50% is gays, LGBTQ, of course, and then we have all the oldies that are some transient, some are stable and reside here, and they were the ones that they were around the supermarket like zombies going, and then they were talking to each other.
Too. They're wearing black.
They were talking to each other.
They're in mourning.
Jeez. Guys, and then there were the young people. What's up with that purple hair thing? I mean, it seems like all these idiots have some kind of purple hair. But, I mean, it was incredible. However, there is some threats. Election offices in Orange County and Riverside counties have received bomb threats because this... Can I say these fuckers, or is it too much?
You just said it.
Okay.
News, we're learning about a series of bomb threats targeting registrar of voters' offices that are still counting ballots across the U.S., including here in Southern California. This is video just into our newsroom from Riverside, where sheriff's deputies were called to evacuate the building and investigate. A similar situation playing out tonight in Orange County, where a threat was emailed into the office. ABC News reporting that these same types of threats are happening at offices across the country. Remember, votes are still being counted in a number of key races that could affect whether Republicans or Democrats control the House of Representatives.
And I think that the Democrats are really bad losers. But most of all, they are fighting now some kind of infight where everybody's pointing the finger at each other. No, you, no, you. Listen, the people responsible for their party in the last decade, actually 20 years, have transformed this party in a leftist, extreme leftist socialist party that has nothing to do with the values of America. So actually, Barack Hussein Obama, Nancy Pelosi,
Hillary Clinton,
the Bidens, the Joe Biden, Jill,
probably the Bushes. You can throw them in there.
Well, I mean, as I explained in volume 10 of my Confessions, a very important book that you need to read to understand, like Christy did, the real truth behind 9/11. Those scumbags from the neocons are no better than the Democrats, of course, and to actually ally with Dick Cheney's daughter, Liz Cheney, or with people who have been kicked out almost from the Republican Party was not such a good idea. So now things will change. Things will actually change. They are changing as we speak. The latest regards Hamas. I explained in my book here, which is, of course, about Islamic Freemasonry and the secret societies behind the eternal war in the Middle East, that Hamas and all these Salafi jihadists, most of them are, of course, controlled by NATO. And the moment in which there is a new sheriff in town, things change. So now the latest breaking news regards Qatar and Hamas, because Qatar has been one of the main sponsors of Hamas together with Iran. But Qatar has also served as the country that has guested the head of Hamas. And now suddenly, well, they have some problems with Hamas. It seems like Qatar stole this Gaza ceasefire mediation because they are asking Hamas to be serious about it. And this is a kind of development which is very significant, because it means that now we have, of course, a complete change in the situation. Hamas, immediately after the election of Donald J. Trump, has asked for a ceasefire. Qatar has told, though, the Palestinian militant group and Israel it will stall its efforts to mediate a Gaza ceasefire and hostage release until they show willingness and seriousness. They're making a little bit of show here. But the truth, well, the truth is that there will be a complete change in the Middle East, a complete change between with of course, the main effect is on the war that is happening in Ukraine, a war which is the making of the New World Disorder, the Great Resetters, and now the Trump effect is going to be very clear. As soon as Donald Trump was announced the winner, already, like I said, Hamas called for a peace agreement. Because one thing that you have to understand, and I hope people will read this book to understand it even further, is that they, in the Islamic world, they like strong men, viril men, men with balls in charge. No, but this is, guys, a commander-in-chief can, I'm sorry, I don't want to be a masculinist, but it cannot never be a woman. In this kind of situation, where you have thousands of nuclear missiles, where you have the security of the world at stake, the sheriff means to me be a man and not a zombie. So the US dollar surged, the stock markets closed at record heights, and the Chinese yuan dropped. Vladimir Putin went and said, well, the dollar, we can't give up the dollar. And he said it in a way that was really shocking for a lot of people. He said, he described the dollar as a golden cow. This is almost like with a reference that I never heard before. Check this out.
We're not abandoning dollar in Russia. They simply refuses to allow to use dollar as a settlement tool. Well, even so, I think if we are denied that, it's so foolish of the U.S. authorities, because the dollar is the pillar of U.S. power, and they're undoing it by their own hand. I thought that whatever happens, dollar is like a sacred cow. Should not be touched. It's in discontinuation. The udder is dirty. They got rid of the horns. Well, they're to blame on their own. The payments in dollars are decreasing. Not too much as of yet, but as means of savings, it's going down step by step, very gradually. It's shrinking, but it's a trend. It's their own doing. But we're not fighting against it. Our proposals are not aimed against dollar. This is simply us rising to the challenge of modern times, a response towards the development of economy. We're thinking about the future tools. And what's relevant today is what I've said before, creation of a system, using already the groundwork of the systems in each country, exchanging of financial information, and those tools that I've mentioned will develop them. Thank you.
So it all depends really now from Donald J. Trump and the art of the deal. You see, if you read this book, The Art of the Deal, you really understand the man. And guys, he's ready. He's ready for the art of the deal. And in this case, I'm going to show you in advance the plan and the map. Just give me a second, because I want to show you the map for Ukraine and what we're going to do to get this thing worked out. So it's going to work like this. And of course, maybe most of you know by now that during the election night, when Trump was confirmed as the winner, he immediately talked with Volodymyr Zelensky. And in the same room for the first few minutes, there was also Elon Musk. He always seems to be. But then, of course, they talked, and he had to tell him, listen, my friend, you're going to have to accept this deal. And the deal is the following. So Crimea, of course, is kept by the Russians. Russian-controlled Donbass, which is already part of the Federation, stays with the Russians. There will be, however, a proposed buffer zone of 800 miles on all this. The 800 zone buffer zone will be actually of European troops, possibly, I don't know if NATO troops, peacekeeping troops, but Ukraine will no longer have the possibility of interfering with the Russian population, which was the majority in those areas, which they persecuted after 2014 in a criminal way. So the deal is set. That's it. It's not, I mean, of course, they're not going to be accepting it, especially the Europeans, especially Ursula von der Leyen, especially the Jesuits. So let me show you what these idiotic Europeans said, because it's important to show you. We are doing counter-cognitive warfare, so we are actually here going to make you really understand things in a very clear manner here in our new series. Now let's go to the European Union so you can have an idea of how these people are taking the whole thing. And they're not taking it very well, but of course they have to take it. They have to accept it. In fact, there is already Borrell, who is the top notch, one of the top notches there, who already went to Ukraine. But most of all, I wanted to show you, if I find it now, hopefully soon, because I have a few videos here. So here we go. Here we go with Ursula von der Leyen.
The first part of your question, we have very carefully shaped the financial support for Ukraine. As you know, the 50 billion euro Ukraine facility that is there, and that we have now, in addition, the G7 loan that will give Ukraine already important relief until 2026. And you know that we have a fair share for every partner in the G7. They all contribute to this $50 billion loan that is given to Ukraine in addition. But what I think is more important that we discuss with our American friends also the fact that Russia is not only a threat to Europe, but a threat to the global security as a whole. Because Russia is not only...
There is no threat for global security. You are the threat for... You are a German Nazi. That is how it is. You are German and you have it in your veins. I'm sorry to say, you have Nazi DNA, dear Ursula von der Leyen. What you're saying is not going to be accepted. You are a Nazi.
Only an autocratic state. It is threatening democracies, but it is also increasingly becoming aligned with others like Iran, North Korea, and together with China, fueling this war.
I don't. I'm sorry. Now I have also
I asked you if
German
I was
blood
a
as well.
Nazi.
Well, we both have German blood. I mean,
Am I a
my
Nazi?
ancestors.
I'm not a Nazi.
My ancestors built the city of Cologne in Germany. So I mean,
My Italian grandmother got it on with a German dude, and so that's what happened.
okay, but this German woman has Nazi DNA. Like I said in volume 9 of my Confessions, they built a mountain of lies, and they created this presumed evil enemy whose evil image has been, and I'm citing my book, artificially by the New World Disorder in the last few years. Russia never represented, after the end of the Soviet Union, a real threat to Europe. This has to be very clear. Or America, while Russia's external policy under Putin's rule had always urged diplomatic solutions to problems like Ukraine, but the West just kept ignoring such solutions. My words in volume 9 of my Confessions, which is 7 Steps to the Secrets of the New World Disorder. But let's continue to hear this Nazi.
And I think this is an argument where we also have to be very clear with our American friends. We see that technology from China and Iran is used by Russia on the battlefield. This shows that the security of the Indo-Pacific and Europe are interconnected, and so are the European and the United States interests in this cause.
Well, now I'm going to explain you how Pope Francis and the Jesuits are working behind the scenes, because Europe is a Jesuit stronghold, and in fact they immediately sent their main agent, Mario Draghi, to Brussels to sort out things and discuss now the new Trump era. Mario Draghi used to be the head of the European Central Bank. He's now retired. He was also prime minister in Italy. But what I'm about to show you is a very important meeting that went on the 5th of November when the Pope, yes, the Pope, left the Vatican and went to visit Emma Bonino. Now, people will probably in America don't know this name, but I'm going to show you after a video by George Soros where he says Emma Bonino is one of the pillars of his society. So I want to show you, first of all, the Pope who went to visit Emma Bonino, and then I'm going to show you who is Emma Bonino and why they met on the 5th of November. And of course, they were discussing the American elections.
Eminenza, come l'ha trovata la Bonino? Benissimo? Posso avvicinarmi? È stato un incontro
asking basically how he found Bonino. Now, I mean, for most of us, nobody knows who is Emma Bonino. So, and the Pope leaving the Vatican and personally going and visit Emma Bonino in his house.
Where does she live?
She lives in Rome.
Oh, right in Rome.
Yes.
So he didn't have to go very far.
Well, he didn't have to go very far, but he had to go, and he's not that healthy, as you can see.
Francesco?
Francesco, I don't know. No, I didn't see him. You mean Francesco, the head of the security? No,
yeah.
No, it's not. I don't know. It's...
Andrea, vicino al capo che adesso arrivo io. Padre, sono di Repubblica, posso?
The guy said, I'm from Repubblica. Repubblica is a newspaper where I actually did my, how you say, mentorship? No, how you say, internship, yes. When I was a young DJ and journalist in the 1990s. So it is actually a newspaper I know very well, but it's also a newspaper that is partly owned by De Benedetti, who works for Rothschild, and is also a paper whose director used to be a personal friend of Pope Francis. So here we go with George Soros giving an award in 2015 to Emma Bonino, because you need to understand the importance. Emma Bonino is one of the main Satanists in the Vatican, and she's very powerful. Listen to what George Soros says about it.
Ordinary service as a diplomat, humanitarian, and women's rights activist.
Here to present the Fred Cuney Award to Emma Bonino is International Crisis Group's co-founder, George Soros.
I met Emma Bonino some 25 years ago when she came to see me to promote the transnational radical party of the European Union. I considered the idea utopian and refused to join. We have become close friends ever since. We've been friends, and just about a year ago, I actually joined the Transnational Radical Party and paid my dues, which goes to show that she is a visionary thinker who is often ahead of her time. Since then, she has become one of the pillars of the global board of my foundation. She was a very effective leader of ECHO, the European Community Humanitarian Office, and she was vice chair of the Italian Senate, and she would have been a very popular choice for president of Italy if the president were elected by popular vote.
Before we show Emma Bonino next to Soros, I want to explain one thing about Emma Bonino, because she's a real Satanist, not a joke, guys. In the 1970s, she was the most pro-abortion woman ever. She actually had an organization. She's famous for having performed 700 illegal abortions using a homemade device operated by a bicycle pump. And her organization, the Information Center on Sterilization and Abortion in Italy, boasted 10,000 abortions in that period. So here we're talking about a pure Satanist. I mean, abortions are basically human sacrifices, just as war and the victims of war are human sacrifices. That's why Trump will stop human sacrifices. This is Emma Bonino in the 1970s, while she was performing one of her illegal abortions. So you understand why it's so weird that the Pope goes and visits this kind of woman? The Pope is a Satanist, and today I want to show you the place where him and Emma Bonino participated in a black mass. Welcome to the Leo Zagami show.
Oh, so terrible. Ooh.
Chrissy, who are the sponsors of today's show?
Bruce Kodish, Margarita Minta, and Daniel Estes.
Okay, I would like to invite all of you to help us, because we definitely need some sponsors now that we will be joining you 2 times a week. We definitely need some sponsorship from you. You can, of course, go on leozagami.com and you find the Cash App handle, or here we go on the screen with the GoFundMe. Please support us. We will have, of course, exploring the Illuminati series on Wednesday, and on Saturday, the MAGA Counter Cognitive Warfare, which is a unique show. I mean, what I'm about to show you today is a scoop of worldwide proportions. For the first time, I'm going to bring you close to Borgo Santo Spirito, the headquarters of the Jesuits, and next door, as you know, there is the Knights of the Holy Sepulchre. So this is a place of immense power because it's close to the headquarters of the Jesuits. This is a church that not many people know because they keep it very secretive. They keep this church very low key. For a while, until 1983, actually, there was a period in which it was kind of, it wasn't consecrated any longer. So they could use it for other kind of things. But then it was reconsecrated by John Paul II. This church is called San Lorenzo in Piscibus. It's a very old church. The first church there probably is from the 7th century after Christ, or 6th century after Christ. So, I mean, it's one of the oldest churches. And what I'm about to show you is the image of a church which is used now for the last few years from the Vatican clergy to perform. Now, you know, this is the Borgo Santo Spirito Road, and you find it actually is very difficult to see because it's in between two buildings.
I don't remember this.
Because, well,
I know the other place.
Well, you will remember if I put you on Google Maps, because we never been inside this church, because this is the church where the Vatican does their black masses, San Lorenzo in Piscibus.
I don't want to go in there.
It was pretty dark already, the Vatican. I mean, they started doing satanic masses in the Vatican in 1963, as also pointed out by Malachi Martin. I talked about it in volume 6.66 of my Confessions. This is the place where they have been regularly conducting black masses for the last few decades, since the Second Vatican Council. It might seem an innocent church, but you see, there is no representations on the walls and stuff. So it's very easily to take away just these statues and adapt it immediately into a satanic setting.
Oh my God, how horrible.
Now, Satan likes human sacrifices or fetuses from the abortion. So that's the kind of scenario.
Disgusting.
But if you want to know more about this whole story, I invite you to go and read my latest article on leozagami.com. I broke this scoop about this church being used for satanic masses, which was something that was told by Father Amor to Pietro Orlandi. Pietro Orlandi is the brother of Emanuele Orlandi, this Vatican citizen who was kidnapped and never seen again. And probably she died during a black mass as she was overdosed with cocaine. That is one of the hypotheses. This church is also used at times by Neo-Templar groups who don't have any link with Satanism, but simply go there and perform these Neo-Templar rituals. But this church, this very old church, like I said, is the home for the Vatican black masses. And as you know, next year we have the Jubilee. The Jubilee, we show that anime, that luce anime. But let's go back to George Soros introducing the woman which performed 700 illegal abortions and was visited by the Pope on the day of the elections.
She is fighting a winning battle against cancer, and she is a very worthy recipient of the Fred Cuny Award for the prevention of deadly conflict. And it gives me great personal pleasure to present it to her.
I don't see none of, because of the lights, I don't see you, but I imagine you are still there. You are. In any case, thank you to ICG. Thank you really. When I received the letters, maybe some of you know that this is not a very great year in my life. It's a very difficult period for many, many reasons, plus. But that has been one of the very few good news for me in 2015. So thank you, ICG. Really, it has been a great help.
So this is one of the pillars of Soros' New World Order together with Davos. Somebody you never saw before. There is other important players. Rin de Rothschild, the Sabatian Frankist, who works with the Council of Inclusive Capitalism, with Pier Giorgio Bassi of the Academy of the Illuminati. And in the Academy of the Illuminati, we have, of course, a guy called Mario Draghi, who is the #1 agent, which I talked about before, who is basically Mario Draghi, the former Italian Prime Minister, the former head of the European Central Bank, but most of all, one of the main Jesuit agents. So things here are moving very fast. And of course, they are preparing.
They're making plans to do things.
To do things and to, in some way, counter what Trump will propose. But you will find always all the latest and things that no other show will probably tell you here in the United States, here at the MAGA Counter Cognitive Warfare Center. That's what we are.
I like it.
That's where we are.
It's
our new project. This is Borrell from the European Union, who went to talk with the foreign minister of Ukraine, getting ready for Trump.
Нагадаю також, що президент Зеленський був один з перших світових лідерів.
That's it. Preparing. After talking with Donald J. Trump. President, guys, the bank has closed. There's no more money for you. No money, no honey, no war. Because this is something actually that Elon Musk said, even tweeted today. I completely agree. I already talked about it even before I, of course, saw his tweet. But he just tweeted, I think a few hours ago, that that's it. We are going towards peace. And it's something that, of course, they have to accept. Let me show you what RT has just posted. And RT, of course, is Russian media, Russian state media. They have to accept it. Zelensky must accept Crimea is gone. And this is what Trump, the veteran strategist, Lance, who has worked on campaigns with Trump since 2016, made these remarks to the BBC. And Lance said the US priority will be to achieve peace and to stop the killing. Now, when you have all these great things happening, and then you have these idiots who in the city of New York go in the street and do this idiotic protest, I mean, it's just like unbelievable. Who are these people? They are brainwashed and they are dangerous. They are dangerous because they are insane. Joy Reid has been advising on her MSNBC show that Democrats should avoid their Trump relatives during the holidays. This is the level of insanity.
The idea of how do you interact with people who you know voted for this, right? If you are an LGBTQ person and you know someone in your family voted essentially against your rights, or you're a woman knowing that, you know, this man was calling people the B word, J.D. Vance was literally calling Kamala Harris the trash and said, we're going to take out the trash. I know a lot of Black women were incredibly triggered by that. And if you then meet somebody and you know they voted for the people who called you trash, or if you're Puerto Rican, you know someone voted that way, do you recommend, just from a psychological standpoint, being around them? We got the holidays coming up. So I love it.
So it's okay for them to call us garbage, but we can't call them trash. Wow. I enjoyed it, really. This is...
It actually got so much worse. Nobody shut up. They just, they don't have a voice anymore, though, so they're irrelevant.
They are becoming irrelevant, but that's what's going to make them dangerous.
You asked this question because, there is a push, I think just a societal norm that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going to a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood, and it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why, to say, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me. And I actually
Oh, their space. They have to all be in this, how is it called? Safety?
Safe space.
Safe space. Ooh, let me go in my safe space. Wow. These people are really completely brainwashed. And I'm sure that we haven't heard the last from them. You say, no? You say that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope we would. I wish we
would.
But
one thing is hilarious. One of the biggest losers is Michael Cohen, the former lawyer of President Trump. This guy is one of the biggest losers, and he was trolled on TikTok after Trump won in a way which is hilarious. This is funny. This is really funny. Check out Michael Cohen trolled on TikTok.
No problem. Wow, genius you are. Can we stop with that? I appreciate it. I don't like the stupid turkeys. All right, let's just knock that stupid shit off, please. All right. I did. I said I was leaving, and then the following day, get that through your dumb heads. The following day, I turned around and I said that there's no chance in the world that I'm leaving my country. Thank you very much. All right. I'm not leaving anyway. You leave. This is my country. And I have every right, every single right within which to turn around, would we stop so we can. All right, 2 seconds, I'm going to end up blocking this idiot.
Now, if you want to enjoy yourself even more, remember the Zagami family cookbook is going great, guys. We have some. I didn't put your pizza. I should have put it in the fight, but you didn't send them.
I did send them.
You did. But
I can get my phone.
Yeah, why don't you get your phone and we can share from your phone? Okay. But if you want great dishes, like really great dishes, guys, and pasta and anything, and I mean, all the photos, as you can see, they are covered. The recipes are really clearly depicted, and there is the best cuisine. The Zagami family cookbook is a must. And, of course, it celebrates the MAGA culture.
I made this today.
Yeah, great pizza today.
Wait.
Let me do it. Let me do it so I can get maybe. Here we are. I need to get
that's it's gonna sound really weird.
Yeah, what kind of pizza was this?
It's white pizza, and it has the artichoke and spinach. I know it sounds really weird. It was kind of weird,
but it was good.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then this one,
and that which was this. Sorry.
I made that too. That was the first cheese. I didn't eat that one yet.
It's a great pizza. This was a really good. I had.
Was it good?
Oh, very nice. Oh, very nice. But I can't really seem to focus too much. I can't get the. Here it is.
But anyway, I got pizza recipes in my cookbook, and then you can learn how to make a pizza. It's pretty easy. And then I don't have the artichoke one.
You can learn how to make the dough. You can learn all kinds of things. And I tell you, I mean, chicken cacciatore, Christie style. This is a great recipe, guys. I mean. The Zagami family cookbook, along, of course, with volume 11, volume 10, volume 9. And you know what's happening with the Hollywood. they are no longer relevant, but because they have always been a bunch of Satanists, and I've exposed them all already in volume 8 of my Confessions, which basically is all the people that you have seen have endorsed Kamala up until the end, including...
What's going on with J-Lo? She's been in trouble lately with P. Diddy. She did some bad things in the 80s. I saw something. You wrote so much about her in volume 8.
All those people really have a lot of skeletons in the closet. And I hope that now with Trump, they're saying that all the Diddy files will be unveiled together with the Epstein files. So we're going to have a ball with that, guys. Definitely. We're going to have a great time. Finally, we're going to expose the deep state. We're going to get rid of these bureaucrats that make the deep state. And so it's going to be really...
He really needs to clean the swamp this time instead of just going over it lightly. He needs to totally get rid of that swamp. There's just so many swamp creatures still alive.
But one thing, guys, that is most important is Trump's promise to fight the cartels, because they are really evil.
Is being poisoned from within by the drugs and by all of the other crime that's taking place. The drug cartels are waging war in America, and it's now time for America to wage war on the cartels. In this war, Joe Biden has sided against the United States and with the cartels. They are making more money than they've ever made before, times 10. There's never been anything like it. They're major companies. They're bigger than even some of our biggest companies. Biden's open border policies are a deadly betrayal of our nation. When I am president, it will be the policy of the United States to take down the cartels, just as we took down ISIS and the ISIS caliphate, and just as, unlike the situation we're in today, we had a very strong border, the strongest border, in fact, in the history of our country, and drugs were at a low of 45 years. There's been nothing like what we did just 2 years ago. We will show no mercy on the cartels. Every day, drug traffickers are using the waters of our region to ship their lethal poisons to America, killing so many of our people and ruining families. In addition to restoring strong border security, I will deploy all necessary military assets, including the U.S. Navy, to impose the full naval embargo on the cartels. I did that before, and it worked. What we did was incredible. We will guarantee that the waters of the Western Hemisphere are not used to traffic illicit drugs to our country. Furthermore, I will order the Department of Defense to make appropriate use of special forces, cyber warfare, and other overt and covert actions to inflict maximum damage on cartel leadership, infrastructure, and operations. I will designate the major cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. We will sever their access to global financial systems. I will also work to forge an unprecedented partnership with neighboring governments in our region, just like I did in Mexico. And remember, in Mexico alone, an estimated 100,000 civilians have been tragically murdered or gone missing at the hands of these cartels. The Mexican government, run by a very fine man, the president, is really working hard, but it's not working out. These cartels are vicious and they're violent, and they have Mexico for now stymied. Well, we have to help Mexico, and we have to stymie the cartels. Either we will get the full cooperation of other governments to stop this menace, or we will expose every bribe, every kickback, every payoff, and every bit of corruption that is allowing the cartels to preserve their brutal reign, and it is indeed brutal. Finally, as I have said before, I will ask Congress to pass legislation ensuring that drug smugglers and human traffickers receive the death penalty. The drug cartels and their allies in the Biden administration have the blood of countless millions on their hands. Millions and millions of families and people are being destroyed. When I'm back in the White House, the drug kingpins and vicious traffickers will never sleep soundly again. We did it once, and we did it better than anybody else. There's never been a better border than we had just 2 years ago. It was strong, it was powerful, and it was respected all over the world. And now we're laughed at all over the world. And we're not going to let that happen much longer. We have to take over, we have to be tough, we have to be smart, we have to be fair. But if we don't do something immediately, our country is gone.
Make America Great Again with Donald J. Trump and the MAGA Counter Cognitive Warfare. This was episode 1 of a new series with Leo and Christy. Yes, guys, yes. We are ready. Sometimes you have to laugh. Sometimes you just have to...
Laugh some more?
Laugh some more. Why not? Why not? Why not? See you on Wednesday for Exploring the Illuminati.
Good.